the Phoenix are the most versatile of all the teams. Adept at finding cover in the most unpromising places.
But these grounds are well defended. And stealth alone won't be enough. They have no choice but to rely on cunning to succeed.
Crosby!
I am the king!
The atmosphere is amazing here on Dust 2. The man on your screen right now, the crowd favorite Insane Bolts, is looking for yet another map record. The kits are in hand, the World 100-meter bomb defusal final is on. And they're off! Tyson Glaive is right alongside Bolts, but here he goes, taking the lead already. It's Bolts all the way, making his way up that ramp.
Okay, watch the clock, it's goal for Bolts, and again, he's done it again. A new world record for Usain Bolt. They say lightning doesn't strike twice.
Is Counter-Strike your whole world?
Then get a load of CORSAIR DreamHack Masters!
He's going to be picking up the first kill. It's going to be Arts with 2, make it 3 kills and a 4th. Beautiful plays by Art the Ace.
Electronic and Simple are doing what Electronic and Simple do best.
No.
Got a cop in the whole bomb site. Oh, the wall bank coming through Clave. They're still searching, and he's got another. That's 3 kills on the right. He can go for this so much. Zaiwu has pulled something out of nowhere.
16 teams came to Malmö, but with several squads undergoing changes, the group stage was an unpredictable bloodbath. With just 6 teams left, it's time for a classic Swedish derby, while a promising mix of old and new talent take on a French roster desperately needing to make a statement. And if that wasn't tough enough, today's victors will have 2 Titan teams standing between them and Sunday's grand final. But as this tournament has shown, anything can happen.
Experience the unbelievable. Witness the impossible. CORSAIR DreamHack Masters.
Ladies and gentlemen, Malmö Arena, be up on your feet for Get Right! The absolute Swedish god of Counter-Strike is here, and he's not alone, because accompanying him is Denmark's Tristan. He won a competition on social media to be here today, carrying that trophy onto this very stage. He may only be 11 years old, but Tristan has been fragging for years, and he has his very own team, Wave Esports. In fact, if Get Right's ever looking for a wingman partner, Tristan may be that player. Well, gentlemen. Get Right, come and talk to me here. I think there's a few people who are excited to see you. Are you excited to see them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's always nice to come back here to Malmö. Sadly, I'm not playing, but it's just wonderful to be here.
And you won the first ever DreamHack Masters here in Malmö. Can you remember what that felt like?
Ooh. The feeling was just happiness.
And do you feel happy to see Tristan here, the future on stage with you?
Of course. I mean, it's going to be the next device. Why not?
Yes. His favorite player is Device. Tristan, come and talk to me. So you are an AWPer for your team, Wave Esport. Can you imagine yourself playing on this stage one day?
Yeah.
And what was it like walking out with the trophy with Get Right?
It was
It was very nice.
Very nice. Do you think, though, that you're going to lift one of these one day?
Yeah.
Well, Tristan, thank you so much. Give it up for Tristan, everyone. Wow, we have one legend on stage with us right now, and he's got some friends that are about to be on this stage too, but they have to get through another team because, yes, it is a Swedish derby.
The feeling about the new lineup is very good. I think Flash is the most smartest players in the world.
JW, he seemingly is really starting to reach the levels we know he's capable of.
This Inferno map twist, they are all around him here. He's going to go for a great double spray, but Guardian taking down Forest, and 25 seconds here, out of bullets, and Rez showing up at the perfect time to help out, and Guardian will fall.
It's going to be nice playing against Fnatic in the Swedish derby in the arena. I think we have a good chance of winning.
Boom is looking the wrong direction, and Force sees the rest of it clear.
Hopefully we're going to 2-0 them.
Oh no, the blocks are here. That's an incredible grenade out of Flusher and the spray as well. Saving Golden.
Playing in front of Swedish crowd in the big arena is a huge moment in my life. I don't know the feeling yet because I haven't done it yet.
Coming through the tunnel, they are just like fish in a barrel in there. Boomage getting a good kill. Guardian there as well. 8 seconds. If the bomb drops now, it's a disaster, and he almost had that simple. He can still interrupt it. Oh, he's gonna get shot down.
I think they're going to have to watch out.
And we will prove that we're the best Swedish team today.
Please welcome to the stage Fnatic and NIP! This, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute grudge match for the ages. And I need to find out where your loyalties lie. Are we feeling Fnatic today? And are we feeling NIP? JW, thank you for joining me. Now, so far this year, in your best of threes against NIP, you have reigned victorious. Why do you think you're going to be able to do it again today?
Because we're better.
You say you're better, but you have just changed players, and this is your first LAN with them. So how do you know that?
Oh, because we're better.
He's so imaginative, this one. I hope that your imagination in game is better than it was just then. Plopsky, I'm going to come to you. This was your dream. You were here in 2016, you saw NIP win, and now you're here in a jersey. But you've got to get through Fnatic. How are you going to do it?
You just have to play our game and win it.
Play your game and win it. Do you think you're better than these guys?
I mean, they're good, but we're better.
And do you have the crowd on your side today?
Yeah.
Is he right? Have you got anything to say to your fans in the arena, JW?
Thank you for coming. Finally, we're playing at the Swedish stage. Feels great. So hopefully, we're going to give you a good match.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Shake hands, do the honourable thing, and now go and disrespect each other on that server, please. Let's head back to Stunner on the desk, but before we do, Malmö Arena, are you ready?
Well, Malmö's team's ready, but we are as well. I had the opportunity to speak with Plofsky's parents this morning on my walk over here. We had quite the in-depth conversation. A couple factoids came out there, Christine and Jacob. You want to know what they are?
Tell us more.
First and foremost, they said that they are so nervous for Plofsky. That would be one side of that parental equation. The other one was that Plofsky had promised, I'm going to quote this, Plofsky promised to be global elite before the age of 12 by 2 months. He beat that to go to DreamHack Winter, just to be there.
That's so cool.
Global elite at age 12 is way better than you, Jacob.
Yeah, way better than me. That's why he's there, and I'm stuck with you at this desk, Trace. Not really fun to be here, but Plofsky is a guy that has, he joined NIP. There was let's say, high expectations coming into that join. You know, he was supposed to be the guy that could sort of spark in some new energy to NIP. He wasn't really able to do that, but I don't think that has anything to do with Plopsky. That was more the NIP lineup being, you know, rather, let's say, dead.
Oof. Yeah. The word dead comes out and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's not nice, is it?
Gives you the shivers, sort of like this best of threes veto might, but it depends on what maps come out right now. What do we think we're gonna see here in 3 maps?
Oh, man. I mean, both of these teams will have to veto Vertigo, so it's really a matter of who's going to bite the bullet first. But I really think that NIP, they looked really good on Inferno yesterday. I'm assuming they're going to have to veto that Mirage first if they don't have to veto Vertigo. And for Fnatic's side, they don't play Nuke, so they've got to veto that one as well.
Yeah, there's a lot up in the air here. It depends on who's going to veto first as well. I think maps like Dust 2 is going to be in there. Inferno, there's a high likelihood it's going to be in there. Maybe even Overpass, a map that both teams likes to play. So it really comes down to who has the, let's say, balls to wait out with the vetoes. Who's going to veto Vertigo and who's going to, you know, pick the first ballsy pick in this one. I think it could go both ways. Now, we see Vertigo being taken out by Fnatic. We see Mirage going out by NIP, basically as we predicted. Now, for the picks, I would be surprised if we don't see Inferno in there and potentially a Dust 2 as well, Christine.
Absolutely. I mean, NIP yesterday, they looked so strong on that Inferno coming in. And although they lost versus Na'Vi, at the end of the day, they still were able to posture for that comeback. They were able to bring the economy back into their favor, and they really quite made it competitive.
Yeah,
Us 2, Nuke, that will be the first 2 guaranteed. Now, will we get a third? That's going to be a question on its own.
I love this Nuke pick from NIP because, as I mentioned, if Fnatic weren't going to veto that Vertigo, which they cannot afford to do, they don't play Nuke. We know that NIP plays Nuke. I can't remember how many times I've seen Forrest running around on that outside from ramp back to the outside connector. He's that third man in, so he's able to really capitalize on his teammates' contact and make magic happen.
I like their picking Nuke, I really do, but I'm a little bit afraid, you know, of the fact that NIP were the ones to remove Inferno. They could have picked to play Inferno as the third map. Inferno was the map they beat Mousebots on. I know they lost yesterday against Na'Vi, but still it's been a relatively strong map for them. I feel by this veto that NIP, they're trying to punish Fnatic by picking that Nuke. I like that, but they're also giving them a lot of respect in terms of removing Inferno as the third map and leaving it into Overpass. So a little bit of mixed signals in that sense.
Speaking of a few mixed signals, right here, we're going to talk about the Ninjas of Pajamas. Here you can see their entire lineup. They don't need any introduction in Malmö, but you might need one at home to who the Ninjas in Pajamas are. These guys are looking to come out here and make a statement, and it sounds like they have the crowd behind them to do it.
Sure, and this is a very interesting lineup. I was just looking at the stats for the tournament so far as well. They actually have 3 players that share the highest rated status. All sitting at a 1.08 rating is Plopsky, Rest, and Forrest. Now, just followed by Electro, who's sitting at a 1.05, and then Twist, he's sitting at 0.92. So they're really, really close. They don't have a superstar on this team. They don't have one guy who's stepping up and basically carrying the team over the finish line. This is a unit that is trying to work together. And judging by the stats, they've been doing, you know, okay so far. Yesterday against Na'Vi, that was a rough matchup, but let's be honest, you know, it is against Na'Vi, and they're playing well, Christine.
They are, and I like that you mentioned these stats being so close together because you're absolutely right. They are a unit. And speaking of this man on your screen here, Plopsky, what a year he has had so far. Coming from that Ancient, competing in Opens here in the earlier year, and then all of a sudden joining a almost broken NIP and expected to do great things. And so far, he has delivered. I mean, in that server, he looks confident. He's not, sometimes with a youngster coming in that's fundamentally sound, they can sometimes turtle up and not really have as much impact trying to achieve that perfect CS, but Plopsky, he has been delivering.
Plopsky here, and it looks like he's here to stay. This is not his first trip to Malmö, and neither is it for the other side as we start to talk about Fnatic. Now, this team coming in here, a Swedish house that, well, not so much more than a Mafia.
No, but it's a very interesting lineup, let's be honest. This is a unit of players who have before been together. They've won tournaments. There's one that sticks out to my mind. That was the Katowice 2017, I believe, where Flusha just took over a game on train and basically won it single-handedly for Fnatic. Now, bringing in Flusha, bringing in Gold into this lineup, I think that's a good move long-term, but I still think it's a little bit too early to see where the real potential of this Fnatic lineup is. You have a guy like Brolan in there. He's a youngster, and he's doing, you know, he's doing fine, but he's not up there still. And then you have the main star. We already talked a little bit about him, Crims, right? He is the gem to this Fnatic lineup. He is the guy that can take them from be, let's say, a top 10 team, and if he's playing well, they can basically beat anyone, because this guy on the screen right here, he is one of the very best in his role, and he's one of the most consistent rifles that I've ever had the chance to play against.
He definitely is. And I mean, on this Fnatic lineup, all of them have got kind of livened up this weekend. I mean, we even saw JW going for knives. He's up to his normal shenanigans, and that kind of breeds that sort of confidence. I mean, when you're going for knives and you're going for the crazy plays that we know JW is so good at, his teammates can really rally behind that, gain that confidence, understand, hey, my teammate's going kind of crazy over there, and kind of live up to that expectation. So I think it's really nice to see from the Fnatic side.
Yes, we're going to take a look at both sides. We're actually going to pit them head-to-head right next to each other, and it's going to be that of Fnatic and Nip, showcasing two players right here that we've picked out for a head-to-head. And ultimately, it's going to come a little bit down to the AWP.
And that is a cool head-to-head right there. Trist, he used to play for Fnatic, right? He's an ex-teammate of these guys. Now he's on NIP. Now he's trying to find his own career path, right? This is a guy that many thought back in the days, a year ago, 2 years ago, that he was one of the brightest talents within the Swedish Counter-Strike scene. A guy that many times have been asked to join NIP, but he opted to play with his friends instead. Now he finally got into Fnatic. He finally took that step over. He didn't really perform well, right? Now he's coming into NIP. It hasn't been looking so good for him so far in this tournament, but there's no doubt when it comes down to skill, Trist is one of the most skilled players within the Swedish Counter-Strike scene, and so is JW. That AWP duel, that's going to be instrumental to who takes, I wouldn't necessarily say the victory, but who sets the tone of the game and sets the pace of the game as well.
Yeah, and I gotta say, these are two kind of opposite styles of play. I mean, you mentioned that Twist has been kind of quiet coming into this weekend, and I gotta agree with you. I mean, this is kind of his last leg. This is his last leg to stand on. He's gotta prove himself this weekend. He's gotta put up those numbers, and he's gotta show impact.
Let's put up some numbers right now. I know that everybody's just getting situated out there in Malmö. I know that they're just getting sit down inside of the arena. So first and foremost, I just want to say right off the top, before these two put their neck out there, good morning, good afternoon, and I can't wait to get this Swedish derby underway. Now for you two, let's get our own in-house derby underway when it comes down to predictions. We're going to start with you, Christine.
You know, I love the story that NIP is bringing to the arena this weekend. I love where Plopsky is being, but I have to put my vote with Fnatic. I think these guys are looking very sharp this weekend, so I'm going with Fnatic.
If I had to choose, which I guess I have to, I'd also go with Fnatic. I do think it's going to be a close matchup. There's something to be said about having two domestic teams going up against each other. All these players on the server, a lot of them have played with and against each other for years, so they know each other well in and out, some even say in trace. So it's going to be one of those games that is going to be close, down to the nitty-gritty, down to the narrow. If I had to pick a winner, I'm going to go with Fnatic. But let's not forget, the last time these two teams played was at IEM Sydney, and there was a game, went over 3 maps, and there was 5 overtimes in total. Fnatic ended up winning. So I could imagine some of the same scenario playing out here, but I'm gonna go with Fnatic.
Yeah, I think you guys are onto something, but what you're not doing appropriately is crowd pandering, because these people love the ninjas in pajamas. And guess what? I love the ninjas in pajamas. Can they beat Fnatic? Who knows? But I'm gonna pick Nip anyway. It's a heart pick rather than a brain one. I can tell you that right now. I can also tell you that we're ready to get this quarterfinal started. We're gonna be starting off on Fnatic's pick of Dust 2 with our commentators. Let's head over to them right now and see what they're up to. It's Henry G and the Machine.
Thank you so much, Stunner. Yes, this is quite a bargain. I think we've struck with Malmö.
Yes.
We promise good Counter-Strike. We're not saying it's going to be the world's best, but right now, there is nothing I'd rather see on Swedish soil than this derby right here.
This is so much more than just any usual quarterfinal. It's two iconic organizations once again on the big stage, on home soil, looking to prove who will be the next king of Sweden at this stage. They're two huge names, Alex, and it's unclear as to who will win, both with new, fresh lineups, looking sharp. They've taken down some good opposition on their way and both playing fantastic Counter-Strike. It really is going to be a bit of an anomaly though. No one knows what to expect. Who's going to crack under the pressure, especially in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, I mean, that does definitely play a factor. I love the Plopsky storyline. For those uninitiated, the desk did cover it, but seeing him not only watch NIP lift the trophy in what was a dream event run, now NIP looking to replicate that same success here in 2019. He's got the NIP jersey on. And speaking of jerseys, it's worth mentioning, of course, Twist. He wasn't that long ago wearing the Fnatic one. Now playing for the Ninjas and providing them that consistent AWPing presence that's a new addition to the roster.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be such an exciting battle going on here. So many storylines, so many different roster transfers, and they've both played under the banners separately. It's going to be very interesting to see who will be performing, who will be stepping up. We've got Crims looking red hot in the previous games here, setting records, looking like his old self. That's a massive storyline for them.
Yeah, top 3 of all time ADR. It was into the 200s. It's madness. And of course, if you are interested in the man on your screens there, Brolin, another youngster rising through the ranks. We got to, of course, meet one of the up-and-coming on the stage with Get Right and Frank to start things off, but there's so many more of them, and Brolin's an example of a couple of steps further. down that line, down that path to professional play. A Counter-Strike purist as well, Counter-Strike Global Offensive purist. Those youngsters haven't had to transfer from different games. Of course, quite the opposite could be said for Forest, who's still putting in the in-ears right now.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he can do here. The last remaining legend of the original NIP lineup, and it's going to just be interesting to see how he can perform here. He let himself down over in the Berlin Major, and now with the new look NIP, sort of found some form again. He's found that kind of level we're expecting from him.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it all. It pieces together. It makes a whole lot of sense. Another man on your screens now, Golden. In-game leader and praised for it, played for the Fnatic roster before. I mean, they've been in and out, shaking it all about for a while, trying to find the right concoction, but it does seem like many would have considered Golden to be a name that was a must-have on that list. I'm seeing fist bumps. It's likely we could be jumping into the first round of play. Ladies and gentlemen, two legacy Counter-Strike names meet in the playoffs on home soil. Swedish Counter-Strike has lost its luster, but now rejuvenated rosters readying for redemption on Dust 2.
Let's make some noise, Malmö! Two Swedish teams locking horns once again on the big stage. Who will be making their way towards the semi-final? We're right into the action here. It'll be a CT start for Fnatic. NIP with a slow approach here. Going to be kicking things off with their approach towards long. Basic control has been found. They do have their two smokes for the cross, a Molotov for the bomb site, and this Flashbang for CT spawn. The only player towards the A side right now is going to be Golden. JW and Flusher focusing on the mid control from short themselves. All 5 players now for NIP towards the long pit position. They're going to have to throw their smokes now. It's going to be a full commitment. They cannot fall back off this one. It's Rez to watch out for the flanks and Forest to make first contact toward the A bomb site here.
You'd be right to look out for the flank as well. It's something JW is considering. Some sporadic shots from Golden do not connect. First damage taken by Plopsky now. Starting off the quarterfinal with a 5v5 after plant. I can't believe it. Normally, early bloodshed. Flushing does go low.
Here we go then, the bomb planted, a perfect position for NIP. It's exactly what they wanted, a 5-on-5 situation. No damage taken, a headshot thrown towards Flush's direction, but JW will answer back in due course. It's now advantage Fnatic. They do have a kit on the back of Golden, and now the retake will begin. It's going to be exchanging of blows here, but Fnatic have a 4-on-2 lead. It's down to Twist and Electro to pull this one off.
It's going to be hard from Ramp, gets shut down, and now just Twist. The plant. And the defuse coming in. Oh my goodness, it wasn't far off. Had he taken JW, he had a real shot. He had the line onto Crims, but Fnatic with no kit, no worries. They'll find the first here in Malmö.
Well, there it is. A lovely retake there from Fnatic. No panic. And they managed to come back into the 5-on-5 in a post-plant situation with no problem whatsoever. It's going to be round 2 coming in with the bomb planted, a few kills found. NIP do have the option to force buy into this second with a couple of AKs, potentially 3 in total. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. Looking to answer back straight away. It's going to be 2 AK-47s. Plopsky on the UMP. And we'll see. Well, Electro can open things up there. Another Galil comes out as well. That's in the hands of Twist. They've got a very interesting buy going into this next round. No Krieg, but plenty of firepower to work with, that's for sure. Bomb down towards T-spawn for now, and they enter a default setup. I don't want to fire any bullets here, Alex. I want to make sure they keep this a bit of a secret. I don't want to give up the fact that they've fully invested into this one. You can see 3 MP9s on the Fnatic side, 2 M4s, Crims and JW to do most of the heavy lifting here.
They have their objective. Don't want to spoil the fun, let them know how many rifles are coming into this. With the 5v5 bomb down, they're at least going to have an inkling. Divided, 2 doors, too long. And starting their advance, JW, he has Golden tucked in on that bin. It's often overlooked. We've seen multi-kills from that corner before. JW going to try and draw them in. Somewhat of an off angle taken for now. 50 seconds on the clock, still not a bullet fired.
Well, the bomb towards long. Golden at the blue bin position. Twist and Rez to try and open things up. Mid-control granted towards the Ninjas. Plopsky and Electro suggesting this will be a B split at this stage. They might not check this blue bin towards long. This is where the play really comes through. It will be Rez to take down Golden. That's where the action's happening. It will be now the bomb making its way towards the A side. Flashes to defend. He's only got the MP9 in hand. NIP have a huge lead here and think better of pushing towards long. And a single interaction there. Twist is going to join his teammates here. So the fake that it started off with is actually going to be where they end up. Flash to rotate through. There's only 10 seconds remaining.
Phew! Sigh of relief.
They almost gave that one up. There was no time to plant on that one. That could have been very dicey indeed.
10 seconds and he takes the fight with the bomb on his back. That's ballsy. could really have backfired. We'll see that again on the B take. He does get the initial frag he was hoping for, but then even more. With the UMP committing to that spray, Plopsky with 3 as he finished off Flusher before things spiraled.
Well, it will have to be a forced bite in response. NIP almost gave that one up. It was a perfect play. They had such a lead, but wasted too much time, but still, they managed to pull off the round. No harm, no foul, that's for sure. CZs, Deagles, P250s on the Fnatic side. Another default here from NIP, this time with 5 rifles, Twist with the Krieg. They didn't pull out the AWP just yet. They know they're up against just the pistols here. Fnatic do have a small chance of pulling this one off, but it will take a few mistakes from the NIP side. They're normally very good in anti-eco setups, or anti-force buys in this case.
How many games have we cast where that second round with the bomb down is such a threat, Fnatic?
Oh, yes.
Do fall foul to it as well. The Ninjas converting off of their rifles. Despite the loss in the first, JW, he's tucked in. He wants to have that element of surprise with the sidearm, but Forest likely to clear. You can see how meticulous he's being already. Has managed to dissuade you, JW. Just a couple of bullets, bringing him down just below half.
The A-bomb side actually completely open at this point. If NIP make their way up towards short, Golden and Flusher are currently patrolling the long position. They won't be able to do anything about that plan. They're putting a lot of faith that NIP won't go into a default approach here. Once again, the clock becomes an issue. We're getting to the 35-second mark here, so they need to get the skates on, need to establish control of the A side if possible. They've got 3 players there with the bomb. 25 seconds now, still with a couple of flashbangs and smokes. They are going to commit to this with the smokes going down. There's a push towards middle. No frag found from JW, and the CZ unable to deliver just yet, but Red certainly can. He makes his way towards long, confirms that's where the players are. They should have a clean run at the bomb side now.
They certainly should. Rifle for Golden, though, after his great trade. Oh, and jumping, he finds it! JW 5
Could be
seconds!
enough.
Can they get on the bomb? Forest, he's got it in his hands. I think he has time, so now bomb will go down, but Fnatic, they are making this one so difficult. Electro looking to relieve some of the pressure. He's going to be pushed himself, and actually has to be precise. Finds the head of Brolin. 2 remain. Golden and Krim starting to group up, and the rifle does nothing for him. Krims, I think he can get that up, especially if he gets this frag. It's good, not good enough. With 1 HP, Forest converts, and NIP find their second.
That was a little bit too close once again. Planting the bomb with 6 seconds against the pistols there. The jump shot from CT Spawn, that could have denied everything. A second later, he actually probably wins the round on that kill alone. Forest luckily thinking fast on his feet, managing to scramble the bomb towards the side, and Electro, he saved the day. That was amazing from him. Very controlled and very calm under pressure there. NIP will take the lead 2-1 as they make their way out towards long. Should be a guaranteed frag for Twist here. Very assertive play as he has 2 more players in front of him, looking to close the gap here. He's got the advantage in more ways than one. Positional control and the Krieg in hand. Nothing invested by the CTs at this time, and Krims will be focusing his efforts towards middle. If they even get a couple of frags at this stage, I'll be impressed. NIP with 4 players towards long. Nice headshot towards Rez, who probably goes down at this point. That's an AK given away.
Whether or not it'll be given for free is a different question, though, because Electro was rotating towards T-Spawn. He thought better of it. Now shots from Brolin, down to just 2. He won't be able to pressure for now. They're doing so much with these pistols, Henry. Every round seems like it's full of strife. The B site has been cleared by Electro, though, and that's perhaps false information given Brolin's long push route towards low tons.
NIP are giving them way too much respect in these sort of rounds. It doesn't take anything of a crazy fake or a lurk required, to be honest with you. This is a risk of another gun being given away, but luckily Fnatic haven't recovered that initial rifle. And Golden and Brolin very low indeed, and another frag found. They're taking so many solo plays, and not a big fan of it myself. NIP should still win the round, but they're giving Fnatic a little window of opportunity here, as we'll see Twist make his way towards the A side. 1 more kill might actually do it. It's more damage inflicted towards Twist. They are starting to crumble here.
They've got no HP. Why does this feel so hard? Another one, Brolin onto Twist. They're all so low. Damage, and another one dropping, and this time in favor of NIP. With 20 seconds, though, that bomb has to go down, and they know it. A good shot would keep them suppressed. That's enough, though. Plopsky just needs 1 more. It's down to Golden. He's already hit 1. No HP with this AK. He picked it up to start it off! And Fnatic, a full eco victory! That is quite the statement to make early.
Yeah, that's a full-on crumble from NIP, I'm afraid. Sure, great work from Fnatic to make the USPs work, but you can see NIP not expecting any sort of pushes there, caught in positions by themselves, no trade potential, trying to go for a big backstab as well. When you've got the AK alone, that's just too much risk to take. If Electro doesn't do that and stays with his teammates, more often than not going to win that, like a 90% chance they're going to just take it, no problem at all, but they're overthinking these situations. They're making this too complicated, and that's going to take the wind right out of their sails. That was not a good round.
I mean, sometimes you do just have to to forget about it. There's nothing you can say in that timeout to bounce back. You just simply have to completely regret, immediately process, and forget. That's what you got to do. That's how the professional world of Counter-Strike is going. Mental fortitude, we talk about it a lot, and some of the world's best truly are unwavered after conceding rounds like that. To be honest, the world's best probably don't concede rounds like that.
Well, remember, a few of these players not exactly mainstays on the big stage. A few younger faces now in both teams, but that simply isn't good enough. They need to work out how that's going wrong and what they can do to change things going forward, shake those nerves off as we enter round number 5 here. NIP will force back after losing to the full eco there. That does not bode well for their confidence, that's for sure. Just to a very open map, and Twist does find a nice opening frag towards long. That's going to be Flusher removed from the equation. Nice shot. He's actually sat on 0-5 right now, unable to really get going in his quarterfinals so far. 2 Kriegs, AWP for Twist, and he will be taken down by JW, who has the audacity to face towards T-Spawn. He does get legged in the process, but gives them a 4-4 to work with now.
And the AWP now in the hands of Forest. Picked that up from the loss of Twist earlier. I think it was actually the Krieg swap. But NIP, we've seen this a couple of times watching their Dust 2 on their path. Even before the roster changes, they do tend to fall into the default very comfortably. Smoke arrives around the 60-second mark.
Problem is now for NIP, they only have a single flashbang remaining. If they want to go for a B split here, they'll be exposed towards the CT spawn position. Blonsky gets himself in position towards the cubby towards the mid hole, and that's going to be stopping transitioning players from the B bomb site. I assume his teammates will make their way towards A. It'll be Golden, though, patrolling the short steps. He's got M4 in hand. Flash round is absolutely spot on, but he can't find the shot. Electro manages to deny that, recovers the M4A4. It's going to be a 3 versus 4 in favor of the Ninjas here. Still need to make their way towards the site, but that's currently open. JW falling back towards CT spawn. He might just be wanting to hold on to the rifle at this point, or the AWP in his case. Bomb to be planted, no problem. Once again, down to the minutiae of the round. 10 seconds remaining, but they are going for the retake here. That should be a frag for Plopsky, but Brolan, they'll absolutely destroy him there with a headshot.
I would say now there's a chance. Fnatic, though, low. Molotov could get a bit hot for Forest as it spreads, but instead it's on the site. Electro tucked in on Goose. Bomb half gone. Do have a kit on 2 members of Fnatic if they continue now advancing. JW will be there to try and trade. Back and forth they go. Electro's only going to get 1 on the defense. Brolan, has he done enough? Rez remains. He's going to have to go further. He's got the kit. He's going to have to shoot through the box. It's a free defuse. It's another round for Fnatic.
This looks so disjointed from NIP, Alex. You can see there's some nerve issues going on. This is not a team that's up for it right now. Fnatic can't believe their luck, I don't think. The fact that they're getting these opportunities to get closer and closer towards the bomb site, shots being missed, frags you'd think were guarantees for the NIP considering their setup, their crossfires. That was fantastic work from Brolan overall. Managed to steal 3 frags for himself there. Very impactful ones as well. Defusing the bomb, you can see there was no position that Rez could even get close to that bomb to deny the defuse there. Communication a little bit off. Losing to the full eco is going to be resonating in their minds at this point. We'll see whether the next round, with 1 Krieg save in the previous, will lead them to any success. Fnatic already had an eco victory. NIP will have to replicate that. Averaging $3,000 per player. Rez could drop his Deagle, I suppose. That's about as good as it gets for them if they want to invest anything into this round. They'll take a tactical timeout, their first so far in this quarterfinal.
A tactical timeout after losing against the full eco and then losing a bomb down scenario with equal numbers.
Yeah, it didn't really look like they had a chance towards the end of it. Full defuse was very comfortable indeed. And it is going to be a partial investment here. So Deagles, and they've got 1 smoke and a flashbang. And they're sending 4 players towards the tunnels. Twist with the bomb towards T-spawn. Now I would assume they're going to be smoking towards B and then flashing through, seeing what they can do with this one. But they've been operating so slowly so far. This is not really in line with today's game on Dust 2. A lot of teams picking at the pace and pushing through middle quickly. We saw lots of that recently over in New York. But this is a very traditional approach from NIP. Just going for defaults, dissecting the map, short control, basic execution. We'll see if they can find any success here. Pressure really is on towards Rez. Incendiary will flush one of the players out here. Golden doesn't want to be anything to do with this one. Not worth the risk. That's how you should be playing. If you're alone, just let them have that position. It's not a bomb site. You want to make sure there's no chance they can recover a rifle and have a chance going forward.
Seeing how that can spiral in 5 rounds of play alone. Preparing for the assault, they do have the hard hitter in Rez. He is their golden goose. protect the president. Thank you. I'm here all week. Gonna have the first fight. You know, there's that Krieg in play from that round prior, and now it's the pressing fire converted. No, it's not. Forest, a huge scout to take. Now they can continue their advance. The bomb will be coming from Plopsky, or will it? Trims eliminated on the push. This is much better from the Ninjas.
Yeah, that's much more controlled. You can see they've got coordination and objective in mind. They had the one smoke. They used it to its full advantage there. The timings couldn't be better, and they're waiting for the reaction as well. That's what Dust 2 CT side's all about. If you lose a position like middle, you can beat the split coming in. Crims trying to push towards the tunnels. That was a perfect play from him, but they're ready for it. The Deagle headshot comes through. Round guaranteed, and NIP finally looking like themselves at that stage. We will see a clean sweep pretty much at this point. We're going to have 5 players surviving the NIP side. Fnatic will have no choice but to fall back as they confirm the victory here. It's going to be 3-3 overall. A much needed round there for the Ninjas. Sure, the scoreline looks close right now, but the rounds they've lost have been disastrous.
Yeah. Forest frag with that Desert Eagle just gave them a way in immediately. Brolin taking what he considered to be a safe fight. Forest, well, he changed his definition of safe very quickly. Not bad as my ears get a little warm. And the bomb will equalize. It's going to be NIP 3, Fnatic the same. Map 1 of this quarterfinal. Let's see it from his POV. Damn, crispy.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. And this is where Crims tries to reclaim territory. He's going to go down with just the MP9 in hand when they come through the doors and window. Tries to get tunnels control, but they're ready and waiting. Here we go, then. This game's starting to warm up. We level things down to 3 apiece. And the AWP still in the hands of JW. They saved 3 weapons from the previous round. They don't fully invest into this next one. Flasher will make do with the CZ and Kevlar. They do have decent utility, a few kits as well. JW will have to step up though. Are they going to boost him towards short? He's currently there alone as Flasher will drop down towards CT spawn. Very traditional angle will be Molotov, Dov, Flashbanged, and it's difficult to make that frag work, but ever though the player to do it, JW probably be up there.
Yeah, for sure, especially given that it does seem to be his redemption song here in Malmö for Fnatic. Everyone, Ninjas too, back to some of their old tricks. JW has been playing some retro JW Counter-Strike and looking to continue to do that and carry it on here in the quarterfinals.
Interested to see if NIP are going to start changing things up in terms of the pacing towards the mid stages of this T side. Been very slow and methodical so far. Dissecting towards short. JW though can hit the footsteps and nails the shot. He didn't even have vision there. Forest will be removed, and it is going to be a 5 versus 4 now. Fnatic start to fall back, trying to run the clock down to the best of their ability. 45 seconds remaining now. JW repositioning towards middle. Great awareness from Twist. He anticipates it, and it will be a 4-on-4. Time again, running low. Smoke towards the B site. Bomb though situated towards short. Plopsky trying to open things up as we get lower and lower on the clock.
Again.
Golden holding towards long, and that's actually the only player at the A side. Flasher actually in CT spawn at this stage.
NIP are going to give me a heart attack. 20 seconds, they have to commit. It's all in. Cards are on the table, and the T's are towards the site. Let's see how they handle it. For now, Flasher, he's using that smoke to his advantage. He's only got the CC, hoping for someone to drop CT. Now, good angle for Plopsky, can't convert. 8 seconds, the bomb needs to go down. That's Twist to make that happen. Rez, in the meantime, does win the battle on long. That's Golden eliminated and Pressure relieved. I think that might just be the save call, if not the reposition. Yeah, it does look like it. The Ninjas, they run that clock down, but they run that bomb site over.
I feel like Fnatic were expecting the mid play once again there. Had Flasher been in position for the jump shot once again with the CZ, that could have been the difference maker once more. It was about 6 seconds remaining for the plant. It goes down no problem. They did have a bodyguard this time, so it would have been avoided, I think, but still, it was a scary moment for sure. NIP, though, with 4 players surviving, they managed to fend off the partial investment here. Fnatic saving 3 weapons before. We'll try and do the same again, this time losing a rifle, but they do have the AWP in the hands of Crims this time after JW was struck down. NIP now will have the lead on the T side here of Nuke. Remember, this is the pick of Fnatic. We move on to Nuke next, where NIP will look to sink their teeth in. A map that Fnatic don't really play that much, and with the new lineup, might not be ready for it.
JW's words in that interview, we're better.
Well, they both said that, to be fair. It wasn't the most inspired interviews, I have to say.
No, I mean, Swede's trying to do trash talk. It is a gentlemanly handshake as far as it goes.
They did try.
Plopsky, though, going to try as well to get out fast on long. He stands his ground after having the AWP fired in his direction.
See both teams giving each other a lot of respect here. We haven't seen many aggressive pushes from Fnatic. You'd expect that their sort of playstyle, their history, they would be up for this, pushing offshore, making a nuisance of themselves. They seem a lot more subdued these days. actually the AWP for JW once more. Position in a similar territory towards that short position, holding for the initial frag here. It's going to be Brolan with the M4 towards the B bomb site. And then the pistol players all kind of dotted around CT spawn and middle. NIP need to make sure they do not have solo plays here. No flanks required, just go together. And the bomb makes his way through T-spawn back towards the B bomb site potentially. Blonsky just crouching past the T-spawn crossover. It'll be Electro now just to investigate the long position, try and work out where the AWP is situated. JW still towards short, but Flusher, Crimson Golden start to encroach on that position. They're trying to hunt for information themselves. They've got nothing to work with here. As we said, a very disciplined and slow game so far. This is a bit of a fake towards long. Bombs in B tunnels. So Rez and Electro firing off shots, spamming off towards the car. They've taken vision away with the smokes. They're going to leave one player there in the pit. He'll go for a backstab eventually, but here comes the final play. Bomb towards B. They're walking into the Lion's Den though. Where's the trade potential? One by one. It will be too easy for him. It's not really calculated, it's not controlled, and that round should fall apart by virtue of the clock once again.
That is stunning work from Brolan. Admittedly, NIP on a silver platter. They serve up one fight after the other. Not overwhelmed in any stretch of the imagination. He just holds the line.
Yeah, that simply was just underwhelming from NIP. So yeah, great work from Brolan, but look at the time he's got to reset and position himself. Knowing the clock's low, he's holding that car position. Great shots by him. Very calm, but NIP needed to be quicker. The positioning, the pacing was just off. And we get into a 4-4 situation. Fnatic pull one back. They go into a double AWP setup now. JW and Crims. Now we're starting to pick out the pace. Lecro's had enough. He's going to push out towards long, but down he goes. BT's have full control of this position, and that's a weapon given away and a life. They'll have to fall back into a default now. What's the reaction? Flashing towards the mid doors. They'll be smoking CT spawn quickly. Flasher, though, anticipates this, drops the preemptive incendiary and pushes them right back. They'll have to slow things down once again.
The one time Electro considers some aggression. There are 3 CTs there to greet him on long. Quite the welcome party. Crims, lovely connection, managing to eliminate Rez before Twist could get himself posted up. Keeps things in full favor of Fnatic. Flasher has managed to extend things, puts Forest and Plopsky in dire straits. He's going to catch the edge of the smoke, and Forest with a frag as well. They've got a shot at this, although it may be minimal. Oh, we can see the barrel. And Crims not going to be too threatened. Just get the frag, leaves Forest 1 versus 3. Bombs in his grasp, or at least just in front of him. A stone's throw away. Golden's going to be providing some supportive utility as Crims looks to finish things off. Forest, that's 1 headshot.
Oh,
that's 2 headshots. 3 in the round from Forest here on Swedish soil. He's been flying that Swedish flag for Counter-Strike for oh so many years and still doing it. Can he come up clutch? Round 9, JW left. He has the bomb. He has the bomb site, but doesn't have the information. JW is an unknown entity.
This is nice from JW now. He knows there's only 2 points of access here. Where he stays and remains in the B bomb site or leaves through lower B or T spawn. He's now watching the latter from the bottom of mid doors here. Forest doesn't want to overthink this one. Needs to make sure that he has intel. He can confirm B's clear at this point. He's checked every position. His only threat now will be towards the tunnels, but that's actually incorrect because JW is walking towards the window right now. Forest is assuming that he's there at that stage. Will make a little bit of noise, and that might be enough here for JW, and indeed it is. A little bit too easy for him. Perfectly played by the wonder child of Sweden. It's going to be a lead now for Fnatic. They'll go 5-4 here. Forest did everything he could, walks in towards the side, confirms it's clear, but just didn't have the information. Maybe went a little bit too long and gave JW too much room to wiggle with there. Great anticipation, and it will be Forest with that wonderful play towards the B bomb site. He gets them into a position where they can actually get the bomb down, maybe have some money going forward, and will they invest once again? It looks like they absolutely will, but there will be compromises here. 2 AKs, 1 Krieg, Deagle's armor for Electro and Rez. So no AWP in the hands of Twist here. We'll see whether he can perform with the scoped rifle instead.
Lovely play from JW, still reflecting on his positioning there. It completely baffled Forest. Assumed he would have to be close, otherwise he's going tunnels. It's a safe assumption most of the time. JW, though, playing 4D chess, 5D backgammon. I don't care what you're calling it.
I like that one. Let's stay with that.
Okay. Round 10, map 1, quarterfinal. Number 1 here in Malmö.
This stage. We've got 2 players outside the long position. Forest deploying smokes towards CT spawn, trying to provoke some sort of reaction here. Flasher and Brolan to patrol that territory, firing off bullets and suggesting they shouldn't be coming through those mid doors because they are ready and waiting, trying to push them up towards the A side where JW is positioned with his AWP. So like I said, you can Molotov the position, you can flash it. What will NIP go for here? They do challenge. Dry, actually. Don't want to telegraph their intentions. And there will be the commitment. How has Forrest hit that shot?
That's just completely ridiculous. It looks like something out of fiction. A great start. Rez being pressured, though. It's a hard shot to hit. Will just cut down the health of the CTs on the approach. 25 seconds. Where's that bomb? Twist. Gonna be trying to plan for long. Great connection from Electro's Deagle. That should be it. Rifle will be picked up for Electro, but in the meantime, JW finding Forrest on long. Let's not forget, no armor in play for Electro. That short rifle can be forced off, and now with JW falling, it puts all the pressure on Crims. Not much longer, though. NIP, that's one of the more believable and winnable rounds from the get-go.
Well, there it is, a force buy-in with 3 rifles, and it's Forrest. I don't even know how he spotted that player. Look at it, one bullet just flicks over. I don't think he can even believe it. As he manages to make his way towards long as well, Forrest is really up for this one. You can see his aim is just pinpoint precise. As we get ourselves down towards the T-spawn drop, you're going to see a faster approach towards the mid doors potentially here. Could go towards short as well. See which way they're inclined. As Twist will deploy a Molotov towards the middle doors. Blonsky not slowing down whatsoever. Looking to take down this full eco once again. They cannot give up a rifle by itself at this stage. That was the mistake they made before, and they got ran over for it. Need to frag out together, and it's happening again here, Alex. Blonsky does manage to get the first, but down to 6 HP. That was dangerously close, and Rez will make up for it. There we go. Should be confirmed at this stage. No problem at all.
A much better approach against the full eco. That over-respect they were presenting before is no longer a problem. Blonsky just charging up short. Great work from Rez as well, finding himself the double kill. Not again, Fnatic. They will not find repeated success with just the USPs, but one, I mean, that's the Hail Mary already.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. You can see NIP starting to get a little more comfortable now. Faster strategies deployed, is sticking together. Got a little bit dangerous there with the USP from Kaba. Blonsky survives, manages to make light work of it in the end. A buy here for Fnatic, but a laboured one. You can see them pushing off now, trying to find that first frag. They've at least got a trade here, but it's going to be advantage for the Ninjas. 4 versus 3. A force buy here from Fnatic. They had to try and get that first pick. They had to try and surprise their enemy. MP9s, pistols pushing off towards shore. They still have a FAMAS in the hands of Brolan. JW on the AWP. Blonsky will nade towards short. Flush up, single hole towards the A side. He needs a bit of intel here. He needs to apply pressure. Hasn't got the weapon to hold off the site completely on his own. He chooses short, smokes it off and gets closer towards the steps. And JW with a passive hold towards middle.
NIP, low clock situations, very iconic duo. Blonsky's burning, he's burning significantly, wow. Majority of his health lost with just the spread of the flame. A flash enables Blonsky to get some of that mid-control, combined with the smoke as well. JW and Flush are both forced off, at least to a more passive hold. Sends JW into B. And a similar game plan actually from NIP. Look at this, Lagro using that dribble smoke. They've thrown it a couple of times and not pushed out. Now, looking to catch them off guard. 2 to find. JW's keeping his teammates safe, but a missed shot. They can't expose any more on the B site. Now, oh, back's the turn. Bomb is dropped. This looks like Fnatic's all over. Blonsky, he's low. Sent lower by Flusher, leaping off the box.
Yeah, Electro keeps trying to initiate these solo plays, and when they have advantages as well, I'm not a big fan of it. It's not working out for him at all. I think he needs to avoid that if possible. Time, get a run out again. No chance of even plan here. Rez will get out, but he can't plan. The round's done, and he traces as well. Really quite awkward towards the end there from NIP.
Oh, it's just not what you want to see.
Yeah, that's the second time now Electro has tried to push things and make an opening himself. I like the idea, but it's just not working out for him. And that's a low buy win after losing the initial trade as well. Fnatic will pick it up due to NIP scrambling towards the end. They're waiting way too long to commit to these bomb sites, especially against these low buys as well. They should be asserting their dominance, Alex. They should be patrolling the server, applying pressure. That is not doing any of that. They've had some successful rounds with some very woeful ones as well. As we'll see, round 13 come through. Pressure now on the NIP side of things. They have a Deagle in the hands of Blonsky, 3 AKs and a Krieg as JW continues to find his confidence towards short. This time a bit more of an aggro position. Looking for anyone walking up towards that spot. Maybe a B play here. Players making their way back towards the tunnels. Electro Went down here before. This time the AWP in front of him is going to be in the hands of Crims. Triple smoke deployed. Will take slight vision away. Has he got the gap still? I believe he has. He must do, considering he fires that shot. No connection. Gives up the fact the AWP's on that side of the map. Do they want to continue here?
Double AWP in play as well, so perhaps false expectations if they're not ready for it. JW bringing his, once again, consistently towards the hold of short. NIP, catwalk, no problem, but beyond that, there is the crosshairs of JW. Brollant training his on mid doors. They start to group up, no pressure immediately applied. That's a perfect pop flash, but Brollant manages to cower away. The Molotov will force the fight. No, it won't, doesn't bounce off. It lands on the shelf. Electro.
They're doing it again. 30 seconds here. It's going to be another scramble towards the side with one flash available to them.
Oh, here we go. Smoke deployed and a big leap in towards CT. Twist is going to try his luck, but Brollant feeling luckier. Great shot from JW, leaves just 3. 20 seconds as well. They can't do anything. Electro perhaps has a chance. Rez will not have time to thoroughly clear long, and so it comes to this fight. Flush up, looking to close the door. Just Rez, 10 seconds. It's going to be another for Fnatic.
Yeah, the shots are landing for an IP. Nothing wrong in the aim department at all. It just seems like they're doing way too tentative with their approach, I would say. They're very slow. When they commit, it's very telegraphed as to where they're ending up. When they try to do any sort of fakes here, it's very obvious it's just Electro every time by himself. And once again, one flashbang available towards the end. If you've got low utility, that's fine. You just have to coordinate together. A 5-man approach, nice and early on. Go for some real estate. And for now, it'll be pretty much a full eco here. NIP starting to drop off once again. They are going to have a Deagle, a P250 Electro with armor. That's about as good as it gets for them. They have no grenades whatsoever. Fnatic still have the AWP for JW, 3 M404s and 1 Krieg picked up from the previous round. Short control this time granted. This is what they want to have in gun rounds, really. 5 players in position, ready to pounce. And like I said, no grenades means they won't really be able to do much about the AWP, but he does miss the initial shot. Decent grenade deployed, and presumably the incendiary to follow things up to deny the early plant.
They're getting some good damage with these pistols. And more control early than we've seen from them with the weapons. Now, though, is the question of site take. Gets the cross. Forest, he took a chance, and that enables the bomb plant. That's something out of essentially nothing, a P250. Desert Eagles. This is going to be an interesting fight for Crims. No worries on the first 2 traded. And it's going to be a third as well. JW puts the cherry on top, and we've got ourselves another for Fnatic. This is a really big defense. We want to remind everyone that the T side of Dust 2, we've been seeing huge, huge runs from the very best on their T sides. We've seen double digits and then right back at them. I mean, overtime games off of double-digit T-sides.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and that goes back to the play style we talked about before, just relentless, fast-paced counter-strike, using the spawns to the best of your advantage.
Forced to save in the first 10 seconds.
Right. And that's where the T side really makes sense. NIP, very slow approach. They've tried a couple of long takes that haven't worked out for them. I think they've been dissuaded from that approach. It'll be the final round here after taking the eco previously. They did get the bomb planted. It means they get an extra $800 per player with the loss bonus established as well. So they will have a healthy setup here. Final round as they look to find 7 on the board. Fnatic, they get 9. They'll be feeling very comfortable going into that second half.
Pushing up middle though, Crims, he's got an idea, and knives are out, and frags are on the menu. Crims with 2 before he can be silenced, that's enough. Now the nade damage just sours it even more. Oh my goodness. Ripping this round away from the ninjas in pajamas are Fnatic.
Yeah, we talked about both these teams seeming to respect each other a little bit too much on the server so far. Dust2 doesn't normally lend itself to that, but Crims has had enough. He pushes all the way towards top and middle, throws a spanner in the works, and now Twist left in the 4-on-1. Surely nothing he can do here. He has got the bomb on his back and 1 minute 10 to work with here, but only 59 points of health as he makes his way through the long doors. Should be no chance as Flasher, decent long position here, is holding towards CT spawn with the M4. All he has to do is land a couple of shots and that'll be round done.
Flasher's first half relatively quiet, but his team delivering. Twist now starting to push in. Has the headshot opportunity. Molotov will force the line, force the fight, and can't quite connect. A smoking quick response as well enables more for Flusher to play around. The round is over. 9-6 on the half. Fnatic exceptional. And this Swedish derby continues on Dust2, but first, let's head over to Frankie.
Thank you very much, Machine. It's a little bit quiet in the arena. They are feeling the tension and the pressure that NIP must surely be feeling. They're currently playing too scared of the big, bad wolves of Swedish CS. But can they blow them away in the second half? We'll find out after the break.
easy loving you. You're like poison running through. It ain't easy loving you. Hypnotizing, that's what you do.
All right, Malmö, we're back into the second half. You're a little bit quiet out there in the first. I know we're still waking up, but this is the future of Swedish Counter-Strike now. Two fresh lineups looking to prove themselves. Let's make some noise. Let's show them we are loud, we are proud as we get into the second half. We'll get into it now. Fnatic with quite the lead here as they move on to the T side. 2 smokes and 3 flashbangs. Electro holding off towards middle and Twist probing towards that short position, ready to crack things open towards lower B.
Oh, and he just gets a face full of lead immediately upon arrival from Fnatic, sends him packing. Rez looking to go pushing, and that's a big frag. Slowing things down for a moment, Twist though. He's already paying the price from the early bullet. Now Broden's looking to finish what he started, but Twist, he makes low HP work. It was Flusher who threw the initial frag, Golden to convert. Now Rez has got another one. Looking to regroup and defend this site. First he starts on long now, holding the cross. Oh, and another perfect shot from Rez. Damage from Twist. Doesn't even matter when he's hitting the headshots like that. Suppressing fire from Golden, but it's nothing. And NIP, a necessary round off the back of their star, Rez. All eyes are going to be on him as a must-win, a win condition for the Swedish roster.
Yeah, there he is. A little bit quiet by his standards in the first half, but that is massive. There we go. Keep that energy up.
Nice to find you, Malmö. Good to see you. Let's go.
NIP, normally the crowd favorites here. They've had plenty of magic in this arena before. And there'll be a force buy from Fnatic here with no bomb going down. A couple of MAC-10, CZs, and a P250. 4 players towards the B tunnels. It's Plopsky and Forrest to defend. Famis in hand for the new young star as he watches aggressively towards the mouth of the B bomb site here. He has got Forrest behind him. He's playing towards the window though. Decent smoke will buy him some time. That grenade is going to do a boatload of damage. Watch this.
Oof.
Oof.
They're all shaken.
Anticipating, but still significant.
Certainly is, and certainly makes the job easier for the weapons that NIB have brought off the back of their pistol victory. They're all there, and very little investigation has come out from the CTs. Doesn't look like it's going to be necessary, though, because it is just bloodshed in the tunnels. Forrest drive by with the UMP, just holding it sideways, maybe doing it sideways. And Plopsky will finish things off. NIP, they converted. They're not going to fall foul to the same funny business we saw in the first.
Yeah, absolutely true. It's going to have to be a Felica now for Fnatic. They managed to pull one of those off on their CT side. Difficult to replicate that form with Glocks, no armor. It'll be Crims, the purchase of Deagle, JW with the P250. That's about as exciting as it gets, I'm afraid. We'll get into round number 18. A firm advantage for the Ninjas here, and the bomb makes its way towards B tunnels once again, but quickly in towards lower. Forrest in position to listen out for those sort of pushes. They're starting to slow things down here. JW and Golden outside long. They have got a couple of flashes here. Most teams will approach towards the short position with the anticipation of getting the bomb down as quickly as they possibly can. All we have to do is trade out 1 kill, essentially. And indeed, up towards Xbox they will head.
How far can those flashbangs and a Deagle get them? P250 sprinkled in, of course, but it does require some heroics. W and Electro have somewhat of a standoff in long. First bullets exchanged do favor NIP, as does the buy. Forrest catching Golden. There we go. NIP in pursuit of the equalizer. Twist, he has 2 dancing T's in front of him. Rez is flash. Twist MP9, a perfect and potent mix.
Oh, this is looking good. No bomb to be planted, but the look things here. That's down towards short, and Flusher isolates in lower B position. Another clean sweep for the Ninjas here as they tie things up at 9-9. That's going to help them out. a lot going forward. As we said, it seems to be a T-sided map these days. I'm sure Fnatic will have a much faster pacing than the Ninjas did in their first half. We'll see if the clock becomes an issue for them at all, as Twist looking up for this one. Confidence is extremely out of him. We're going to see now the AKs across the board. One creep for Brolan, and we'll make our way towards Long as the latter actually presenting himself first as Blonsky tries to get towards a pit. He has done so successfully. Flashbang over the top, and the battle begins here. One player past the CTs. That's going to be Brolan. Opens things up, looking for a second here, and he absolutely nails it.
Blonsky! He's not got enough bullets. 4 left. He'll be pressured down. Good damage onto Flusher. Twist, however, he's got no escape. He's going to be trapped on that car if he doesn't escape now. Bullets from Long already, trying the cross, taking a wild shot, but it's enough. And Fnatic bites straight back. Aggression towards Long, you said. It's going to look different, and it already does. My goodness.
Yeah, that's much more like it. That's what we expect on Dust 2. Using the spawns to the best of your advantage, the set smoke towards a corner, take vision away from the CTs, and aggressive play from Brolan will yield 2 frags there. No problem whatsoever. They take the lead now as they hit double digits first. A double AWP setup on the CT side, I believe. It's going to be Twist and Forest with the sniper rifles here. Forest, a very well-versed sniper. We'll see if the same approach towards Long will find the same success. Golden this time at the front of the pack. Here, Molotov towards the car, and the CTs not willing to challenge this time. AWP in hand, and they'll fall right back towards the corner.
Once bitten, twice shy. Fall off Long early. Worried they would concede to the same fate as the round prior. Be boosting up, anticipating some CT aggression, but as the utility's deployed, I think they think better of it. This is going to be a tough nut to crack, though. Forest responsible for middle. Supported by Twist, as he will rotate off to B. They hear the pulling of pins and respond in kind. Considering some aggression here, this could be an overextension from Rez, but not if he's hitting shots like that.
Yeah, that's really nice from Rez there. Now he's starting to feel himself. He's starting to get into his own game, and we have 5 versus 3 in favor of the CT side. Surely they can pull this one off. It's going to be long control from Golden, but he hasn't got the bomb. He is alone at this point, looking to crack things open if possible. He'll spot a player towards short. Who will strike first? It's going to be Electro with the controlled spray. JW and Flusher remain here. They need to make their way up towards short. They found an access point after they take down Rez, but need to push through a smoke here potentially. Electro, patient on the other side. If he gets one of these kills, that should be job done. He manages to find the first and continues to spray. It's another round confirmed for the Ninjas here. Rez and Electro going to town. Save his houses towards shore, no problem whatsoever. Money starting to be whittled down though, but the previous success will allow Fnatic to buy once again, but it will be hamstrung. We're going to have a scout in hand to JW with 4 rifles. Electro, no problem at all there, as he denies any sort of plan towards the A side of the map. Smoked across, and the scout looking to do damage. Is ambitious from JW, but any damage at this stage would help them out. Ooh, that was close.
He had a real shot. You could see the floppy beanie of the NIP sniper. Or one of them, I should say. Double AWP pulled out. It was Forest. Twist alongside him with the Zoom banger. So much more on the line as well. You'd be foolish to think otherwise. Not only a battle to be the best in Sweden, but also the conversation of that Twist and Electro have both found themselves in Fnatic jerseys now. They find themselves against them, vying for a higher placing on a home soil tournament at DreamHack Masters, no less.
Stage, the bomb will be towards the short position, but Flusher waiting for that reactive play we spoke of. He'll be holding for the B pushes. JW patrolling the mid doors. They do have 2 smokes and a Molotov. You usually see 2 smokes towards a catwalk position and flash over, but they're starting to reposition on the Fnatic side here. Maybe a B splits in order, and Forest is actually ready for that. He will get the first frag towards the mid area, and actually goes for a repeat here. Will he be challenging the doors once again? He absolutely will be. That's the bomb going down. He's set up for another, but can't find the shot. Blonsky now with no smoke in position. He somehow goes down there. He had the advantage.
He had a distinct advantage. Looking to dig themselves out of this hole. Is Electro, catches the tunnels. He can hear where they're coming from. Has to get the timing right. Good damage, and Electro back-to-back 3Ks. Double kills, saving the day. Ninjas in pajamas, they'll take the lead. That's 11, and that is 5 on the CT side so far. Just 1 to show for Fnatic's efforts.
Yeah, Electro had some confusing plays in the first half, I have to say, but he is shining now on the CT side, positioning perfectly, being an absolute turret in this B bomb site. He was alone there, had to find all of these kills. A 3K delivered, the bomb denied once again, and he survives there. Loss bonus will start to become a massive factor here as Fnatic, that's all they'll really have to work with. They're currently at the 4th stage of $2,900. That's $3,000 on the nose pretty much across the board for this new Swedish lineup. They're going to have MAC-10s, CZs once again, suggest something very quick coming in. They have got decent B spawns, but I'm not sure that's the play that's going to find them the success they're looking for. With the MAC-10s though, maybe they'll be that way inclined as Flusher with a decent spawn. 3 players heading towards the B tunnels and JW patrolling middle. 80-50 right now, Xbox smoke delivered, taking the vision away from the CTs. You want to put that smoke down every single round just to sow the seeds of doubts in the mind of the defense. Incendiary deployed by Twist just to slow down any fast pushes, and there will be a B approach here. Presumably dribble smoke in front of the tunnels, a couple of flashes through, Molotov at the back of the site, ideally at the platform, considering where Forest is positioned right now.
So setting up behind that smoke and then executing through it. It's standard play and not necessarily the standard outcome. Flusher making sure of that. Molotov onto Forest, catching Blonsky. That's the B defenders now. Now they can get that bomb. In a similar circumstance, it will be Brolin to punch in the digits. Smoke to try and set the retake up, enable them to play around it once the doors does dissipate. Electro rotating in to join Twist. It will be Rez from Dark. They've gone AWP for this retake. That is somewhat of a disadvantage, especially now coming from the door side of things. The duel, it's a great work, great flash combined with Rez push. Now puts Flusher and Crims in dire straits, changes it with a MAC-10. Not necessarily the right weapon for the job, but he's made it work. Now Crims holds a perfect shot on towards Rez, and that's enough for the round. NIP, they gave it a good go, but they'll keep hold of the AWP.
Well, there it is. It was exactly what we anticipated there. The smoke in front of the night vision, the flashbangs through, and a double kill from Twist. They won't win the round, but they'll remove any sort of weapons picked up there. So 11-11 we go. Fnatic do win out with just pistols across the board and a couple of MAC-10s thrown into the mix as well. This is the replay of that great double kill there. He wasn't anticipating that, but he'll take it all day long, that's for sure. Money will still be absolutely fine on the Fnatic side. They had residual cash there as they bring a full buy into round number 23. This is where the game really starts to get interesting now. JW looking for damage at the very start. They're sending 4 players towards a long position on the CT side, trying to deny the push once again, but no one there for Fnatic. Electro in the pit with just a Deagle. I say just, he's one of the most capable Deagle players in Europe.
Yeah, if ever there was a player to make the sacrifice. Safe pair of hands is Electro and the push. Brolin, he looked like he was caught out. It looked like he was mid-air when the first bullet came out of Forest's gun, but still finds the frag. Looking to build off of that now, Fnatic, in pursuit of their 3rd T round. They've done it with pistols, and that is applicable to both halves. Now with a full buy, let's see if they can replicate that. We haven't seen the clock become an issue. That was a question you posed at the start of the second half, and Fnatic, they certainly have had a little more wind behind their attacking sails.
Yeah, at this point, positioning back towards long. Remember, CT sending 4 players at the very start, leaving Electro there alone, only with the Deagle, not the best weapon for multiple frags in this spot. If they overlook it, he might have a chance, and they have as well. He goes to the first kill here, and now only backup from his teammate. It doesn't arrive in time. Twist now to challenge with the AWP, flashes over. Decent one at that, but misses the shot. Now has to focus his efforts towards shore, try and deny things here, but he's overwhelmed! Apparently not. He will take one down with him. It looked like an impossible scenario, but maybe that's an entry point for the CTs here. Rez waiting on the site. It could be enough here. We said the clock wouldn't be an issue. It's starting to be now with 10 seconds remaining. It looks like Rez might have done enough here. He needs to stay alive as long as he possibly can. At this point, they can't even plant the bomb. They cannot, so he's done it. Rez has bought enough time. It'll be around for NIP at this stage. 12-11, and Fnatic, they're the ones that blink in round number 23.
Whew. Collaborative sigh of relief for the Ninjas fans here at CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Malmö.
Wow.
See that from Twisted's POV, damn.
That saves the round.
It does.
It was over. There was no chance. They were so isolated there, but JW, he will answer back quickly. Finally, one of his shots connect, and that's going to be their cue to make a fast play towards the A side, but it looks of things golden. Wastes no time whatsoever. Up he goes, and Twist wasn't expecting it. They continue with the emphatic pace here. Flashbangs towards the A side. It's a 5 versus 3. Bomb will make its way up shortly. That's going to be on the short steps themselves. Bomb to be planted now. It's a 5 versus 3. Money low on the CT side. They probably have to save at this point.
That's one way to win a round. My God, Fnatic. It's barely begun and it's already over. Forest, Plopsky and Rez looking to keep hold of what they brought into this round, and it's not pretty. UMPs, there was no way Rez could make an impact. He was left to his own devices on long. He just couldn't do anything with the SMG. I think he's been sussed out as well. I'm not sure Crimson's going to even let him take that Kevlar into the next round. It has to be precise. And no worries, just returns and taps away at the head. So keeping hold of his rifle, this is integral. Plopsky in support by Forest.
Yeah, sometimes not much you can do about that. JW preempting the shot through the smoke at the mid doors. It's a perfect headshot. It's certainly not sustainable, but you'll take it every single time it connects. And now Plopsky paints into a corner, trying to fight for his life.
Oh, God.
He's beneath the window. I don't think he survives this one. Golden will make sure of that. And it will be tied up once again as the money is absolutely ruined on the CT side. 12-12 overall, and they've got $1,400 per play on the CT side. They pretty much have to buy this one. If they took a full eco, they still wouldn't have enough cash going forward. So they might as well try and steal this one away. Fnatic have the lead here as we go forward once again. JW, the same shot, this time not connecting. CT's looking to challenge towards middle. JW ready and waiting though. No problem at all on the first. But we have got Forest towards a lower B position, but Brolam gets the information from his teammate. He's ready for it, and he continues with their lead.
Hunting down those players. There was 3 weapons they were going to try and bring into the next round. Fnatic, they are feeling the benefit of those successful frags. Not going to be successful yet with Rez's Deagle, but Brolan's still going to be forced to take this fight. The smoke, you can see over that. Switching to his side arm, and it'll be supported by Flusher to enable this to stay a seamless round from Fnatic. They're going to slowly start the crawl. I say slowly, perhaps that will change should they find Electro, and ooh, he's fighting back with his Desert Eagle. JW next on the chopping block. It's only one bullet into the leg. Won't be enough. Bomb can go down, and round will go the way of Fnatic. We are right into the nitty and the gritty here. Fnatic choosing to take it to Dust 2, and now they have to prove their worth on the T side. Great catch from Plopsky.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot there, but it won't do much for him. The bomb's already planted. 3 players still to find. Deagle armor, the full investment here from an IP does yield a couple of frags, but that's about it. They'll be full eco going forward. Even if we do save the Deagle armor at this stage, that's about all he can hope for. Plopsky waiting patiently, a chance to talk about the next round, how they'll present themselves going forward. Ideally, maybe buy 1 smoke, stack B, nade long. There's not really many options of Dust 2 to shut down a full approach when you haven't got much at all, especially when all you can really afford is P250s across the board. But he will save the Deagle armor. They'll have something more than just the standard pistols here, but Fnatic now in touching distance of taking this first map, as you mentioned, is their pick. They're still very close, unclear as to who will be walking away with the victory here in Dust 2. NIP, the favorites in the second map for sure.
Young Astralis fans have come across the pond. Short drive. Good to have you here. No idea what your sign said, but I'm going to assume it's a good way to get the crowd riled up. I'll have to find you afterwards.
Well, a tactical timeout has been called. As we mentioned, the money just won't be there for the Ninjas this time. This should be 14-12, no problem here. Fnatic don't look like giving up any rounds anytime soon. A MAC-10 brought up by Flusher, the perfect weapon to shut down USPs. No armor can throw him in first. You don't want to be finding information out of the AKs. That's the point I was trying to make in the first half. Electro, it's fine to make those sort of calls and try and backstab them and try and work out where they're positioned. If you give up an AK by yourself, it's an access point for the CTs at that stage. They can grab that, shut you down, especially when the clock's running low. So 1 smoke, as we anticipated, just to take away the fact they could be stacking towards B. They have no information as to how many players you've got on each side of the map. No nades towards long, but certainly control granted towards Fnatic. A Molotov towards the car, follow over the HE. They can assume that's clear at this point. CTs would have made themselves known at this stage.
Yeah, how intimidating. Just watching Flusher's POV, the flash straight off the wall, just expecting that even if they were holding the line, a missed shot or just a USP, they've got the read. That MAC-10 enables him to play a completely different brand of Counter-Strike in this round. The bomb's working its way up long, and so is the entire Fnatic squad. Brolan just setting himself up to ensure that no flank is going to be possible. You can see what Twist is up to, but they play it safe. He'll fall back and enable Flusher's MAC-10 to go hunting. Rez, his hunt nets him nothing, and so just that armored Deagle is the only real beacon left for the Ninjas in this round, and Flusher, he's not done. Using his MAC-10 wonderfully. enables them to find themselves the 14th. We said this was a guarantee, though, so now it's time for the Ninjas to fight off match point.
Yeah, crunch time for sure. They've had a decent showing so far in Dust 2, but certainly not looking their best selves, I have to say, especially in that first half. But for now, this was expected to be a loss for sure, so it doesn't really matter. They got no kills here. They'll be able to buy up next round. As to how strong that buy will be a question mark. They're going to get $2,400 per player on top of the $2,000 they have right now, so not really enough to bring out the heavy artillery. We might see something a little bit more interesting at the very top end. We've got $4,800 for Blonsky. The rest of them hovering around that $4,500 mark. So, Fnatic with a firm lead moving into the next round. And Flasher might want to hold on to that Mac 10, considering there's a chance there'll be a few players without helmets here. It makes that Mac 10 a lot more powerful, as indeed Blonsky and Electro will have no helmets. Electro will get one in the end. Rez with enough money for AWP on the nose. We're going to have a technical timeout here. One of the PCs have crashed, Alex.
Yeah, shouldn't take too long, I imagine. Just going to double check, get the admin team on towards the stage. But a quick recap, if you have just joined us. Fnatic meeting Ninjas in Pajamas on Swedish soil in a quarter-final is not something that you get to see every day, and there's a reason they're here. A victory versus Greyhound put them here, the Ninjas in Pajamas, that is, and it wasn't just any victory, it was somewhat of a stomping.
Yes, it was a great game from them. A Greyhound have looked very good here, turning heads left, right, and center here in Malmö. The last time these two organizations actually fended each other off was actually back at IEM Sydney. It finished things off with a Dust 2 double overtime encounter. Fnatic took the map. Two very different lineups here for sure, but still a storied matchup here for sure. Over the years of Counter-Strike, it goes much back further than CSGO in general, as we'll have the Flasher PC checked out at this stage, looking to get him back on the server very closely. Scoreline currently sits at 14-12. NIP will have 5 M4A4s in the next round, 1 kit, bare bones utility. You might want to try and push for that initial frag at this point. The problem with Dust 2 is there are many options to yield you that initial frag. You can either stack your numbers towards long and hope they go for a push, and you can actually have a chance to get early frags in the round, or you can go for a little investigative push towards the upper B tunnels and see if you can take down the first player there. That's about as good as it gets. And without the AWP, they'll have their work cut out for them, because JW is going to have $11,000 fully invested into this round. He's got so much money to work with, as they're in touching distance now, taking this first map, no problem.
And it was no problem for Fnatic to get here in that Group A lower bracket semi. It was up against G2 and a 16-4, 16-5 scoreline. They ran over them with 12 T rounds on Inferno. That T side now on Dust 2 has to be equally as strong to close this one out. The Ninjas in Pajamas, though, up against the ropes. What a mix of old and new. As time continues to pass, we'll look back fondly at some of the names whose shoes will be filled by more and more of that talent that likely is in the arena today, watching in the same way Plopsky was.
Yeah, that's such a great storyline, isn't it? Came here as a fan way back in the day, 2016. Looked on to the big stage and one day hoping to be up there himself, and now dons the NIP jersey up there performing. We want to see a lot more in him in this semi-final, but going to be one of the future stars of Sweden for sure.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And Rez, a similar tag attached to him. He's had more time now, though, in the limelight, and well, the light's shining bright here in Malmö. He's got to forge somewhat of a comeback. It is on the CT side, though, of Dust 2. And as Flasher returns to the server, we are almost ready to get back underway. Worth mentioning, the coaches have more of an impact at this tournament, and that's so useful for teams that have just made roster changes. You know, it enables them to have a little bit of additional support, reminders, and perhaps even a whole lot more.
Especially these newer rosters as well, who do need the crutch of the coach at the start of each round. Therefore, moral support as well, making sure everyone's got their head screwed on. And we did see some interesting rounds for sure in the first half as nerves were starting to settle. But it looks like we are ready to go. The unpause comes through. Round number 27 will be a very difficult task for NIP going forward. 5 rifles, no snipers, and not very much in terms of the grenades here. Like we said, 1 diffuse kit. Watch out for that and where it's positioned, because they'll be on the back pocket of Rez. Fnatic have a massive advantage as we enter the next round. They've got great B spawns as well. No one's really presented a B rush yet. Maybe this will be the first one.
Couple of B finishes, but nothing quick. It does seem like quick is a possibility in this round. Looking to stop that immediately was Forest. Gets an early frag from middle. That's golden cut down. And no trade was available as well to Fnatic. Now they have to operate not only with a man disadvantage, but with a Mac 10 for Flusher. He kept hold of that, still with 8 grand in his bank. You mentioned it, looking to exploit those absent helmets.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Electro and Blonsky vulnerable towards the Mac 10, but for now they have the advantage on the CT side. Forrest knew he had to work for that kill towards short, and he manages to pull it off. Does go down to 46, however. Fnatic still with a shout in the round, as they still have plenty of time. Brolan investigating towards middle. Forrest now positioned towards the window position, now encroaching towards the mid doors himself. Doesn't want to be caught out here, wants to hunt for intel if possible. A very difficult challenge to take towards the mid doors. He does plenty of damage towards Brolan, but outstays his welcome, and they will bring things back to a 4-4 and head towards a B bomb site.
They feel like that's one of the B defenders cut down to size. They would be right, but still to remain. It was a 3-2 split for the CTs. And that mid pincer, that test for Plopsky is about to come within the next few seconds. Molotovs, that's the sign. He's got to be good here. Finds the angle, but doesn't find the frag. Now to Electro, and it's flushes Mac 10. So quick with that SFG. JWO under pressure, and enables Rez to find perhaps a little way in. Twist alongside him. This is the A players now looking to find a way back into the B site.
Well, we'll be up to Twist here. He'll deliver an H-cheat. Just lob it over the top, try and get it towards the window. He does a lot of damage towards Crims. He swallows it. And now it's a 3 versus 2, but there is a chance they can pull this one off. They do have that kit, remember. Both challenging towards the doors right now. They smoke towards the tunnels. Crims with a clinical shot towards the double doors. That should be enough as he inflicts so much damage towards Rez. He's got no choice but to get the hell out of there. It's going to be map point for Fnatic at this stage, and surely he does not survive. Money is going to be in the bin for potentially the last round here for an IP. They had $3,000 on the nose. They got the first kill, but that still wasn't enough. The B finish there from Fnatic caught the defense off guard, and you can see how these kills went down towards middle as Forrest, who was spamming towards that kill on Brolan, but couldn't find it.
Yeah, we'll see Crims. He got 4 in that round. This is the 3rd and the 4th. Very quick succession, gets Twist, and then deals with enough damage to force that retreat from Rez that he can then punish. Fast from JW. He's going to get a nose full of lead, and nice response though. He stands his ground, eliminates NIP. They are 4 frags away from winning their map pick now, Fnatic. Up against the hamstrung NIP buy, and actually Forrest, he knows he's got to bring the fight to them, but it doesn't look great. Brolan, he extends the lead from Fnatic, and Crims, he's looking to finish things. Eliminated by Twist and the MP5. Bomb yet to be retrieved by Fnatic, but they've been given the early picks, just 1 to trade back for the Ninjas. Making sure the rifle doesn't end up in the enemy hands. It's Flusher, so he will start to regroup with his team, and long take does seem like it's being established. JW, this is big. Walking up long in pursuit of map 1. Electro, he did some great work, and that's another one with the Deagle. His weapon of choice. So proficient with it. There's a gap for him to try and find the line, but Flusher can see through too. Cross with the bomb though is golden.
Yeah, that should be enough here, Alex. A 3 versus 2 now. No kits, no grenades. A UMP for Plopsky, and a dangerous Desert Eagle in the hands of Electro. Flashbang will fail, but luckily there's a second one there for Golden, which will be successful here. I don't see a world where NIP can pull this one back. It's map point, and surely round number 16 on the board.
Yeah, this looks all but confirmed. Electro's the only one that could possibly shift the tide of battle. It's a hard fight. Plopsky wins it with a UMP, but it's traded, and no kit, no time, no hope for the Ninjas in pajamas. And it's converted. Fnatic will take the first map. Certainly some fans happy about that. Nuke next for the Ninjas.
Yeah, they're going to have to step up there. They did have some moments of success there, but overall a disappointing first half. Didn't look their usual selves. Caught off with the timings, the clock running down 2 or 3 times there, and denied things from jumping CZ. All sorts of antics you would expect from Fnatic. It looked like they had a decent chance there in the second half, actually, but Fnatic slowly but surely started to come online, whittled down the money, and started to look like the stronger team towards the end.
Yeah, it was their T side. I mean, I think the Ninjas, if they reflect back on Dust 2, you dismissed it and swept it under the rug as, you know, those early stage nerves, but it did seem to settle. We saw a bit more of their usual selves in the second half. They're going to have to do a whole lot more, though, on Nuke to see if we can go all the distance. And we're going to go ahead and throw it quite the distance over to the analyst desk.
Yes, that's what it's all in. The pass, which is what we're going to have to do right now, is pass right over that of our first map. It's Fnatic that looked just a wee bit stronger here on that first one.
That was a weird one, I feel. That was not a well-played Counter-Strike game. I think it was a little bit scrappy. Maybe there was some nerves going on. Maybe it's the fact that, as we talked about, it's a domestic lineup. These players, these teams, they know each other in and out. So it got a little bit rough on the end, I'd say. I think Fnatic were the better team. I think Forrest did a good job of keeping NIP into this one, having a few clutches in there. He was involved in 12 opening duels as well, winning 8 of those. So he really tried to set the tone for NIP. Just simply wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, and I mean, NIP, they started off actually on a good foot. It was so back and forth in that first half, just 2 rounds to NIP, 2 rounds back to Fnatic, and so they never got a strong foothold within this game to find their rhythm, but there was some good moments coming out of NIP's side for them to find openings and try to capitalize on these rounds.
Yeah, I mean, overall, are we satisfied with the level of Counter-Strike that we saw, Jake?
I think it could be better, but I think it's fun to watch, right, when it's scrappy. It doesn't necessarily have to be the highest level of Counter-Strike, but when you have 2 teams who know each other so well, when there's so much history going on into the matchups as well, in terms of Trist used to play for Fnatic, right? All these players know each other, have played with or against each other for many, many years. It will always get down to some scrappy Counter-Strike, I feel, at least the majority of the time. So I think it was as to be expected. That being said, though, it would be nice if we could see some more quality being applied for both teams coming into Nuke.
Yeah, which is what we have next. Nip's pick of Nuke, and I have to ask you guys, do we think that the mind games are going to carry over into that? Because I think it's pretty prevalent right now.
I think so. I mean, as Jacob mentioned, this was a very scrappy game coming into this, and that was our expectation. We have to remember both of these teams are coming in with a new lineup. And on NIP's side, we think of Twist, but Plopsky is very new on that side as well. And with Golden coming in and with Flusha coming back into fruition, he hasn't played a LAN match since February. So these are all factors that are coming into this. And although it wasn't the cleanest, most mechanically high level of Counter-Strike that we've seen within our scene, it was scrappy, and these teams are doing everything they can to put the W on the board, and that's all that matters in the end.
Sure.
Okay, well, here's what we're going to do right now. If you guys could set that up, I want to send you guys down drawing board lane. Is that a thing we're doing?
Yes, that is a thing we're doing, and this is a round that highlights NIP and Forest. And I know that NIP did not end up winning this round, but I just wanted to highlight that scrappiness that Jacob was talking about. If we start here in the beginning of the match, you're going to notice that Plopsky and Electro are going to put a lot of pressure towards this mid and throw out a smoke. That makes Flusha and Brolan really focus towards this mid here. And if we fast forward a little bit, this is going to create a very large opening for Forest to try to take this duel towards that long A. And I want you to notice all this movement. Every NIP member throwing all this utility down to CT spawn and understanding that the rotations aren't going to be coming because of this amount of pressure. Forest, he gets that clean kill, that one tap that was so beautiful on this A ramp. If we can go to the Forest highlight his point of view so that you can see this flick, beautiful shot, and he understands the rotations, where they're going to be coming from, capitalizes on this in a split second, and completely opens up the round, opens up the bomb site for NIP's side of things. And that's the beautiful thing about Forest, and why I think Twist coming into this lineup, taking over that op back, is going to be really beneficial for NIP moving forward.
Yes, moving forward is what we have to talk about. Jacob, I want you to talk to me about Nuke right now. You see this little Forest right here?
I see him.
You think he's going to be popping on Nuke?
I hope so.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about it.
I think Forest, it's so nice to see him being freed up that AWP role. We saw him having that role for, was it 2 or 3 tournaments? He was not his real self. He was having his worst major ever, followed up by the blast in Moscow. He wasn't really feeling it either there. So it's so good to see Forest now with the rifle being an impactful player again. I remember countless of time standing on the desk talking about how Forest wasn't involved in the opening duels anymore. This time around, he was involved in 12 of those, as said, winning 8. If he can do the same thing on Nuke, I believe NIP has a decent chance of taking this map. It is their map peak, and you must assume they have prepared well enough to take down Fnatic. As you said, they don't really play Nuke. They're not a good Nuke team, so NIP definitely still has a chance.
Yeah, especially going into their map pick, which is something that we're going to have to take into deep consideration. But coming up after the break is when all that will come to a point, because Nuke is on the cards. Fnatic and Nip are still in the house, both vying for a spot against the Strawless tomorrow in the semifinals, but they got to make it through this quarterfinal first. Coming up next is Nukes. Make sure you're here with us when we come back to the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters.